that is not legally binding for this LOI? And also, can you tell us some of the valuation or cap rate that you are looking for this acquisition?
For cap rate compression, as we met in this room a few months ago, we did our first batch of disposal very late in the game. We announced it in late May. So the June valuation didn't capture any of, or cannot reflect any of the valuation of the asset that was sold and the comparable asset that remains in our portfolio. You would notice that we have sold those assets at a significant premium to the valuation at the time. Similarly, this time round, during the last 6 months, we have also sold a few more assets, again at a premium to the valuation that was given to us in March. So what the valuer have done is to look at now more comparable transaction. I think since IPO, there has never been any comparable transaction which are exactly the same type of asset as those in our portfolio. In Chinese, we say 估值, it's been guesswork for many years. So they trying to triangulate, DCF, cap rate, and all that, but there's no real comparable transaction. So now we have 9. And so for each one, if you map them with the rest of our portfolio, you see that it fits certain part of our portfolio to give them a reference point. And when you have these reference point and then you relook at the valuation, then the valuer realize that it has indeed been very conservative in the last many years. So they revisit the entire portfolio and look at each one. So I think in this case, as we said, we've sold mostly the smaller ones. And the smaller ones have probably more of a cap rate compression this time. I don't think there's much change in the larger ones. And then the others is car parks. The car parks in Hong Kong, car park space in Hong Kong, have been trading at a very high value. We've been valuing it around 200,000 or less in the past. And now I think with one or two step valuation increase is still only about 294,000 per car park space. So again, this is really to reflect what is really trading in the market. As a result, with the comparable transaction, obviously to complete the formula, the cap rate has to come down. Having said all that, if you compare our cap rate with other REITs in Hong Kong, our cap rate overall is still higher than all the REITs in Hong Kong. There's still a significant margin compared to our funding costs. So we see that there is enough buffer in case there is any volatility. And we've said many times, cap rate doesn't go up 1-to-1 when interest rate go up. The China transaction, well, is as complicated as any transaction in China. Our legal directors at the back urge us to start and go and tell more people as more people go and visit this property. So some of the analysts have started writing analyst report, guessing which one we're going to buy. Well, 2 of them were right. So we decided that if we keep talking about this project for a long time, things will leak out and it would not be right in terms of disclosure. But we haven't managed to sign up the deal. We haven't finished due diligence. We haven't finished the term. So how can we make a disclosure about the asset that we're looking at, but at the same time not ready to sign an S&P? So we decided this is probably a good halfway point. And this also, making sure that once we announce it, our team worked even harder to complete it within the next few months. So hopefully we'll get it all done within the next few months. We haven't finalized all the terms. It is complicated. It is an asset owned by a PLC company. it requires some structuring, so that's why it will take some time. So until we get all the details sorted, I don't think it will be appropriate for me to say more about the asset.
Next question, please. Jeff, third row.
You highlight the disposal criteria in your presentation slide. May we know that how many properties within your portfolio meet the disposal criteria, and will the LINKWIT sell more in the going forward in the near future? And second question is, last time when you sell your first batch of the retail facility, you buy back some shares from the market using the proceeds from the disposal. Now you sold the second batch, but at the same time, you're also considering making acquisition in Shenzhen. If you finally make the decision to acquire the projects in Shenzhen, will you still consider repurchasing unit in the market?